Hello fellow humans and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host SS, and in today's video I'll be talking about my Elementary OS setup or my Elementary OS workflow. Now if you've seen the previous video, then you must have known that I have recently switched from Windows to Linux. So I've been using Linux as my daily driver operating system for about the past 3 months. So in these past 3 months I've been through a lot of distributions. I've just been going crazy and trying all different kinds of distributions. So I've been on Pop OS, Linux Mint. Linux Mint was my starting distribution. I've been on Pop OS, Fedora, Ubuntu Mate, Xubuntu, and Kubuntu, I believe the KDE version, Kubuntu, and now on Elementary OS. Now I have tried Elementary OS before this once, but my initial impressions of Elementary OS were not that good. I felt it was clunky, and it was also running on Ubuntu 18.04, which even though it is a long-term release, I felt that it was a bit old, so I moved on. But I reinstalled Elementary OS to have a look again, and I'm finding that the more I use Elementary OS, the more I feel that my previous judgment of it was a bit harsh. Now, the operating system in its default theming and its default customization was not that good, uh, especially for me. It is completely subjective. Some people might like it, some people might hate it. I personally did not like it, so I did a few tweaks which I will show to you right now. So first of all, in the desktop I've changed the position of the built-in plank dock. Now usually it is at the bottom, but I've put it on the left side, and this does conflict with some apps where the controls are on the left side. So sometimes while trying to click those, I accidentally do activate the dock, but I found that that was negligible. It almost never happened, so I still put it on the left. Now if you are using Elementary OS now or have used Elementary OS in the past, you must have noticed that this effect where I hover and the icon zoom, this effect is not there on the plank dock, which ships default with Elementary OS. Now I've added this effect by building it from Launchpad, and there is a nice tutorial on how to do that, and I'll link that in the description below if you find it, if you want this feature. Alright, so moving on, let us talk about the most important tool that you do need to install after installing Elementary OS, and that is Elementary Tweaks. Now Elementary Tweaks is, you can call it sort of an add-on or extension to your settings app. So let me just open up Elementary Tweaks. So after installation, and I'll leave a link down below on how to install Elementary Tweaks. It's just simple. You just add a PPA of Elementary Tweaks, and then you can update your package manager and then install. I'll just leave a link down in the description on how to do that. Now what Elementary Tweaks allows you to do is, it basically gives you more customization options. So it allows you to turn on dark mode wherever it is supported. Now Elementary 5.1, which I'm running currently, does not have support for dark mode by default, but Elementary OS 6, which is rumored to be coming out soon, will have support for that. So I'm waiting on that, and maybe once it's out I will make a video on that as well. So for now, the only way to enable a dark mode is through the Elementary Tweaks tool. Now I am using a custom GTK theme. It's called the Vimix theme. I'll leave a link to the GitHub repository where you can download and install this theme as well. Other than the default application theme, I'm keeping the icons and the cursors just the stock ones, although I am preferring the default variant. And the window controls is another this thing. For example, in Elementary OS the default window controls are such, but I personally do not like this. So with Elementary Tweaks you can customize it to whatever you like. I like this normal Windows layout, though usually I do get rid of this maximize button, as whenever I want to maximize I just drag something like that. Oops, it's not working. There we go. So I just drag it up like that. So I do, but there is no option to get rid of that, so it's fine. I just leave it there. It doesn't make much of a difference. Now another option that I do change is that in the files menu, by default Elementary OS has a single click to open enable. I personally don't like that because I keep accidentally clicking on something while just trying to select it. So you can disable that here in the Elementary Tweak tool if you do not want it. And there are so many other options like that that you can go over here in the Elementary Tweaks. Now I believe this is a very important tool if you are running Elementary OS. Just get it. It's way, even if you think that you'll never change any themes or customization settings, it's always good to have this. So I strongly recommend that you install Elementary Tweaks. Another setting that I believe that you should change on your first install of Elementary OS is that the mapping of the super key. Now by default in Elementary OS, the super key is mapped to a sort of a cheat sheet for keyboard shortcuts. I personally do not like that, and I prefer it to just open the normal applications menu by default. If you prefer the cheat sheet version, just leave it like that. But if you do not prefer, like most of them, they just remap it to the applications menu. So to do that, just go to the keyboard section in the system settings, and you see the super key section right here, and you can just click to applications menu. By default it is set to the shortcut overlay. Now I personally don't like that, so I always come in and change this to applications menu. Now another thing that I recommend everyone to do is to change the keyboard shortcuts, or at least go through this list and learn some keyboard shortcuts, because learning these kind of keyboard shortcuts also helps your productivity. You'll be much faster on the computer, and it also reduces your wrist strain from moving your mouse here and there again and again. So I highly recommend that you dig into the keyboard shortcuts and learn these shortcuts, or if they are not working for you, just change them. You can easily change all these shortcuts. So I highly recommend doing that as well. Alright, now that I've covered the basic desktop setup, I'll talk about the apps that I have installed by default. Now, the default Elementary OS apps are surprisingly good, and I find them enough for most of my basic tasks, except for the music app, which I had no problem with until it started crashing again and again. The app itself is pretty fine, but I don't know if it's a problem with my system, or if it is a general problem with all Elementary OS users. The music app keeps crashing again and again. So I installed a third-party app called Byte. It is available in the Elementary OS App Store. So I don't highly recommend that. I mean, if you're having no problems with the default built-in music app, then I guess it's fine. But otherwise, if you do want an alternative, Byte is a really good app to check out. Now talking about my web browser, I personally don't like Firefox. I know a lot of people use Firefox, but personally I don't like Firefox as it is. I found it to be very slow sometimes. But again, I don't want to use Google Chrome because it's completely filled with Google and Google stuff and Google tracking and telemetry and stuff like that. So for my web browser, I've been using Brave web browser, and I've been using this before I switched to Linux as well. On Windows as well, I've been using Brave browser, and it is a privacy focused, fast and simple web browser. It is Chromium based, but it is completely open source. So I highly recommend switching to Brave web browser if you are looking for a new web browser, whether you're on Linux, Mac OS or Windows, because Brave is available for all three operating systems. Coming to the default code editor. Now Elementary OS does come with the code app, which they market as their default code editor. Now I don't have any problem with that. It is a really good app, but I still do install Visual Studio Code on almost all of the distributions, because I find generally Visual Studio Code to be way more versatile, and it has a lot more features. So I usually do keep Visual Studio Code, but I also have the default code app pinned to the dock because I keep using it again and again as a note-taking app, because it's more lightweight and can run in the background quite easily, and I take my notes in Markdown, so it does color code things nicely. So I use the default code app as a note-taking app, and for actual programming I use Visual Studio Code. Coming to media consumption, the default videos app that ships with Elementary OS is really good, and I would just recommend using that by default. But I do have VLC Media Player installed just in case the file format is not supported by the Videos app. Both of them are really good softwares, and both of them I recommend very much. Coming to music, as I showed already, I've replaced the default music app with Byte, which is found in the App Center. Uh, just plainly because the default app keeps crashing. If this is not the case for you, then I highly recommend just sticking to the default app. It is really good. Coming to my streaming services, I do have Spotify and Google Podcasts here in the dock, but they're not what you think. They're actually just progressive web apps, or you can call them as glorified websites opening in a window. So I did do a YouTube shorts a while back that you can check out in the channel on how to make any website into like a standalone web app that appears in your applications menu, and this works on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, anywhere. I use web apps for Spotify and Google Podcasts mainly because the actual Spotify app is quite heavy, and while running in the background, while I'm programming or taking down any notes, I feel it is quite heavy. So I usually don't keep the default native Spotify app, I just install the web app. Now, another huge app recommendation that I would do is to go ahead and install the program ULauncher for Linux. Now, this works on all Linux distributions, and I'll leave a link down to their website below, and it is amazing. It is fantastic. So ULauncher is basically like a run launcher where you can type in the name of a program that you want and it will launch. But the real power, you can say, of ULauncher comes from the fact that its functionality can be extended with loads of extensions. So for example, let me just open up ULauncher, and it can be set to a custom keyboard shortcut, keyboard hotkey. So I've set it to super space on my this thing. So I can just open normal apps through it like this, or I can do a Google search by doing G space, or maybe a Wikipedia search by doing wiki space, or you can create your own custom links. So I created one for DuckDuckGo because I don't use Google that much. So I do a D space and then type whatever I want, and then yeah, so basically you can add many more extensions like that and extend the functionality of the run launchers. I also have the system extension installed, so I just do a sys space, and then I can select on logging out, shutting down my system, and I can even restart it to the BIOS screen as well from the run launcher, which is quite frankly amazing. So that about wraps it up, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe and all that, leave a comment and all that good stuff. And yeah, if you're thinking to switch to Linux, and if you're coming from, especially if you're coming from Mac OS, Elementary OS is a really good option. Just with a few little tweaks, it can be really amazing. And also look out for the release of the new Elementary OS version 6, Elementary OS 6. So that is going to be out soon, and when it is out, I will be making a video on that. So make sure you hit the bell icon and get subscribed so that you don't miss that video. Until next time, live long and prosper.